thank you today to test our bird's fly in Anchorvale.
Thank you very much.
And it's our pleasure for Singapore team to preview your flights.
Yes, it's very nice.
Now you have flown like the Mikado Extreme,
Yes.
Compass 7HV and Kasama.
Yeah, it's been a good day today.
Yeah.
We've flown many helicopters.
Yeah. So we'd like to ask you roughly what is the birds that you like for the preview in any events?
The best? I mean, obviously my own helicopter I would prefer to fly in demonstration and what have you.
I see.
But I love to try different helicopters to get a feeling and see what they're like.
I see.
And today has given me that opportunity for sure. It's actually the first time I've flown the Mikado Extreme. Yeah, and I was very impressed with it actually. Very, very impressed.
So what are the specification, or rather the reaction you feel from the bird that actually inspire you to do the motivation flights?
I mean, I was very surprised at the agility of the 800. I was expecting it to be quite slow, but it was actually very not far behind the 700 helicopter. Not far at all. It has a big, smooth, powerful style, and it's actually really enjoyable to fly. Yeah, very, very satisfying to fly. Yeah.
Now you have tried two sets. One is 4004 batteries or 14S.
Yes.
Plus 5008 milliamps. Okay, two sets. Okay.
Yes.
And how do you feel the differences between the batteries of the Nanotech?
The power was better for the 5800.
Okay.
Certainly a little bit better as far as power is concerned, and the flight time was longer.
I see.
But it certainly delivered more power under load. So using a lot of pitch, it had more performance for sure.
I see.
Yeah, and you couldn't really feel much in the way of a weight difference really. Yeah, so the efficiency is good. Efficiency is very good. Yeah, but for the flight time and for power, I think the 5800 was definitely the better.
What about the weight?
Weight is difficult to feel. Yeah, difficult to feel. If the efficiency is good in a helicopter, then the weight being a little bit higher is not so much of a problem. Yeah. In actual fact,
I've tested the cells also. When it come down, the 4004 it reached to 3 volts every cells, and for 5008 it actually come down to 3.7 volt. It's very healthy after a long flight.
After the long
I'm very
flight.
impressed.
I think I flew probably too long on the 4400, probably enjoying myself too much. And I think I maybe landed a little bit too late and maybe bring the voltage down a little bit too far. But still safe, still safe. But definitely the 5800, long flight, and it came down with a higher voltage and it was safer for sure, yeah.
Now since the Mikado is actually using belt, we have actually put up the
This is an old trick.
shock coil.
This is an old trick actually.
Yeah. So it's supposedly to reduce some noise and to make it smoother.
Reduce friction.
So I do believe it might help a bit. Yeah. So
I think a little bit is okay on the belt. Just a little bit. If you have too much, you'll tend to attract a lot of dirt. This flying field's very clean. There's not much dust here. I mean, it rained earlier today, so not a lot of dust. So that's not so much of a problem. But certainly, I use on my electric helicopters. I use some grease on the main gear and crown gear and really every gear, even on the Delrin gears. I find it runs smoother and quieter generally. Yeah, definitely quieter. With a nitro helicopter, I don't do that because you have a lot of smoke and a lot of oil from the engine. So you don't need to lubricate the main gear or anything. But for the electrics, they run a bit dry. So you need to actually, well, it's better to actually lubricate it, I think. Yeah. Before, I didn't think it was necessary, but after I tried the grease, it definitely runs smoother and better, that's for sure. Yeah. On my electric speed helicopter, it actually needs the grease because it turns a very heavy rotor blade at high RPM with a lot of power, and it actually damages the gear if I don't use grease. But it actually needs the grease
on the gear itself.
On the main gear. Yeah. But it's pushing the limits of performance. That's for sure. Yeah. It's at the very degree.
Now you have flown the Compass 7HV. So in terms of weight to power ratio,
very similar to the Kasama.
Yeah,
very similar. In the way it felt in the air was very similar indeed. Yeah, and its agility was very good. It's very smooth. It sounded nice in the air. So yeah, it's another good helicopter. Essentially, if you're turning similar RPM, similar blades, everything is fairly similar in the helicopter. They fly very similar, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. You'll have subtle changes in the sound and the feeling in the air, but they're only fairly subtle if all the other dimensions are fairly similar. But for the Kasama, one thing I've always been impressed with is the efficiency.
I see.
Very high efficiency. Yeah.
What sort of revolution you expect from the different brands?
What RPM do I use?
Yeah.
I like around 2,000 RPM for my I'd love to my maximum head speed. About 2,000 is all I really need.
I see.
I find if I go a long way over that, say up to 2,100, 2,150, they become very impressive, that's for sure. Very, very quick and snappy and very agile. But I find they become more difficult to fly. The lower head speed is more relaxing to fly with. And when I say lower head speed, 2,000 is quite high still, but it's more relaxing and smooth and easier to fly. I find. It's less sensitive to pitch. It makes the helicopter easier.
Now
and
with the Mikado, actually you are flying 1350 normal.
Yep.
ST1 is 1650.
Very smooth at that.
And ST2 is 1750.
Yeah.
So is it enough for you for ST2?
More than enough. Yes. 1750 is more than enough on this helicopter. On the 800, it's plenty. Yeah, it's plenty. Yeah. You could probably go a little bit higher, but I think it's not necessary. I think by going higher, you probably use more battery and your flight time will reduce, and the performance may only be marginally better. It just gets angrier, gets higher RPM and a bit scarier. But that RPM was very nice. It was comfortable RPM, very good. Yeah, good performance, but not scary, not too high, and not overly sensitive. It's very good. Yeah, it's no problem.
So in the future, when you have events or competition, what brands do you prefer? Is it your own brands too?
Well, I guess it's what I'm flying at the time, I suppose. At the moment, I fly for Casimir, so he's my sponsor, if you like, and I'm his pilot. So that's the helicopter I prefer to use. Which one? Well, I would use the. Depends. Sometimes I would use the electric. Sometimes I would use the Nitro helicopter. Yeah. We like to show both helicopters. Usually during a competition, I remember. Last year in Thailand I flew in a contest and I flew the electric for one round in the competition, and I switched and I flew Nitro in the other one, just to show both helicopters and show the performance of both, as a demonstration of both helicopters, rather than favouring one or the other.
Thank you for your time for today.
No problem, thank you very much. I really enjoy coming to Singapore.
My pleasure.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Always have a good time.